Today we have a special report from CSJC News on Birmingham Waterworks Board and its relationship to the Jefferson County Sewer system. And if we had to title this interview, I think we would title it, "The Birmingham Waterworks Board Wants to Get into the Sewer Business." More on this topic, we've asked one of our CSJC members, Michael Miller, who's done exhaustive research on this question, to come before the CSJC cameras and to explain to us just exactly what it means for the Birmingham Waterworks Board to get into the sewer business. Michael?
Yes, thank you, Bob. I appreciate you having me today. It's quite shocking that the Waterworks Board finds itself in a position that they want to enter the sewer business. The residents of Jefferson County that are on sewer and get billed by the Waterworks Board will now be under the sole discretion of the Waterworks Board if this new agreement that is being sought and requested by the current leadership of the Birmingham Waterworks.
Who is the chairperson of the Waterworks Board now that Sherry Lewis's term of office has expired?
That would be Tommy Joe Alexander, the former mayor of Irondale. But I guarantee you it's nothing like this current agreement that he wants to stick the citizens of Birmingham with and their asset as the Birmingham Waterworks.
Who proposed this new agreement to, as you put it, put the waterworks into the sewer business?
Well, Bob, that is an interesting question. And that goes back to November of 2016. When 3 members of the board, that was when the board was constituted of 5 people. And those 3 of the 5 people got together. That was Mims, the chairman and president of the board, William Muhammad, and Director Monkus. They got together and voted to walk away from the contract with the county. That contract at the time was paying the Waterworks Board 3%, or so they thought.
And you say that contract was paying the water board 3%. What does that mean? For what? For what service?
Yes, that 3% is what the Waterworks Board contracted with to perform the service of billing for the county and collecting those outstanding debts for the county in terms of the monthly sewer bill. If people remember, prior to about 2005, you used to get this little card in the mail. That little card in the mail was your water bill. Then around 2005 or so, you started to receive the letter in the mail, and the fee that they were collecting on it, which is what's been in place since the 60s. They've been collecting this 3% fee, and it never went up. But the county decided that once the Waterworks Board came to them and wanted to walk away from the contract, they would enter into negotiations. So in that negotiations, representatives from the Waterworks Board and representatives from the County Commission came together, and they had a couple of meetings during that time period. And in one of the meetings, it was offered by the Waterworks Board to the county that they would give them a one-time Black Friday deal for 7.5%. For those of you who are wondering where that number came from, that's because there's law for the state of Alabama that says that water, municipal water, and county sewer have to bill together, or one has to collect for the other. And for that, they're entitled to a fee. State law says that that fee should be no less than 5%, no more than 10%, and if the 2 sides cannot agree, it's automatically 7.5%.
So who broke the law, the county or the waterworks?
Nobody broke the law. The law was to set forth what happens in disputes. And you can always sign a contract for any amount. And the Waterworks at the time signed a 3% contract. So they were fine with that. The county was fine with that. Mm-hmm. And everything was okay.
So where are we now with this? This is, we're still trying to get to the notion the Waterworks wants to be in the sewer business.
Yes, the Waterworks wants to be in the sewer business because the county, they learned from their bankruptcy experience. They learned when they went into bankruptcy, they had the weaker hand, and they came out of bankruptcy. We were owing 3.2 in bankruptcy. We came out owing 1.8, even though we dropped off $1.5 billion off of that. Almost $1.5 billion off of what we owed. But now our water bills are going to climb for the next 40 years to some $14.5 billion by the time we get through paying it back. So they learned, and by law, the Waterworks Board could ask for 7.5%. You know, if they didn't agree, they could settle on 7.5%. So with them settling on that 7.5%, the county came up with some ingenious way to make sure they got something out of it when they were required to get nothing. And for that, they constructed this contract.
And what does the contract say?
The contract says that the county, first off, had to do a study. The study was done by Ralph Tellis Financial Services. They're the same financial company that came in and spoke in bankruptcy and said that after 10 years, the county would be back in bankruptcy because they could find no other municipal sewer that was out there that financed for 40 years. It financed this kind of debt for 40 years and with no way to pay it back based on income. So Ralph Tellis was engaged by the county commission and by the Birmingham Waterworks Board. Those two contracted with Ralph Tellis to do a study, and his study started from October 2014 through October of 2017. That's a 37-month time period. Mm-hmm. It found that they billed for $491 million over that time. They collected some $480 million, leaving an outstanding bad debt of $11.5 million. Based on that, the Waterworks Board was not being paid the 3% that they had contracted by law to receive. They were only receiving 2.69%.
And of course, none of this back debt is negotiable at all.
No.
Yeah.
Too bad, so sad. And the study further found that not only were they being paid 2.69%, but their cost of this debt was 5.69%. That's what it was costing them to do this.
Well, we know that the Waterworks has been taking a lot of heat from the public, and we've said over and over again that county sewer billing is really what is jacking up people's water bills. But on top of all that, you're now saying that the Waterworks is slowly but surely easing into the sewer business. What does that mean, Michael?
Yes, this current contract calls for not only the Waterworks Board to receive more money per month and more money annually from the contract. The county has passed their collections over to the Waterworks Board, and the Waterworks Board will pay them all of their money up front. So in the event of a 12-month rolling time period, say for the first 12 months from October of 2014 to September of 2015, there was some $150 million collected. Out of that $150 million, the new contract calls for the Waterworks Board to give them that $150 million up front.
And then go ahead and try to collect the bad debt.
And then try to go out and collect that $150 million, because the new contract calls for them to pay them within 15 days of billing. So if I bill this month for $12 million, I have to pay that $12 million to the county 15 days later.
It feels, from what you're saying, that the county is easing into controlling the liquidity of the waterworks, and they've already gotten people on the water board who are somewhat hostile to the city of Birmingham. Is this a step in the direction of what we've been talking about for years, the potential privatization and loss to the city of its most valuable public asset?
Yes, Bob, and this is an attempt by the outside individuals who control the Waterworks Board now to place the water board in financial jeopardy by accepting bad debt from the sewer. And we know that bad debt is what drove the Jefferson County Commission into bankruptcy. And if it drove them into bankruptcy, it will drive the Waterworks Board into bankruptcy for buying this bad debt. You can't absorb bad debt at any long period of time without it affecting your bottom line, which means higher water bills, which means fewer people on water because they're going to come in and turn your water off because you're not paying it. If you think you can just pay the water bill and not the sewer, sadly mistaken. And for that, the county has decided that they will pass all of their rights and claims to placing liens on properties over to the Waterworks Board. The contract calls for it. So when you have people like Mac Underwood, the general manager of the Waterworks Board, going around saying that there will be no more liens on properties, that is untrue.
Who are some of the people that the public watching this video can contact to express their concerns, their position on this contract, which is still out there, right? It hasn't been signed yet.
We'll place all that information on the screen as far as the next meeting date and time for the Waterworks Board. And if you are a water customer in the city of Birmingham and you're a sewer customer in the city of Birmingham, I want you to reach out to your city councilors. I want you to reach out to the mayor of the city of Birmingham. And I want you to reach out to the board members for the Birmingham Waterworks Board and let them know you are not in favor of this deal.
Who's in charge of the utilities committee for the city of Birmingham?
Yes, Bob, that would be City Councilor Jay Roberson from District 7.
And what can Jay Roberson do from his position in terms of stating the position of the city?
Over 40% of the customers that are billed by the Birmingham Waterworks Board reside in the city of Birmingham. When I spoke to the city council 3 weeks ago, I brought it to their attention that this is a deal that was being proposed and signed proposed to be signed between the board and the county, and they did not even come to the city council to make them aware of this. And they had no obligation. But it would have seemed if this was something that was above board and everybody was going to be made happy about it, they would have at least brought it to the public. And this didn't take place until I stood up at the city council meeting and reported this. And then Jay Roberson at that time invited me to come to the utilities committee meeting. Everybody was there. He said he would request that the board send a representative over from the Waterworks Board, and Mac Underwood as general manager was there. He sits on the utility board for the city of Birmingham. He gave them a 4-page summary that talked about the law. It spelled out nothing about the agreement. For the money you're receiving, you're buying bad debt. You're paying the county off in advance of sewer money, and you're accepting that sewer debt, which means now you have to collect it. And I just don't think that that is appropriate. And Jay Roberson gave no opportunity for feedback from the public. Instead, he was willing to sic the city's attorney on the people who were sitting in the audience who wanted to ask a question or have some feedback, especially when we had falsehoods being represented as factual truth.
On top of all of this, once again, the city of Birmingham, the name Birmingham, which is associated with the waterworks, becomes the bad guy, and Jefferson County, which has foisted this enormous sewer debt on the least of us in districts 1 and 2 in particular of the county, slides out of the picture. It's a bad deal. Please look at the screen at the end of this video and follow suit by not only contacting your representative in the city as well as the mayor, but please attend the next meeting of the Birmingham Waterworks Board, which is also notated, and come to a meeting of the Committee to Save Jefferson County in February to further determine exactly how we want to proceed. And Michael, thank you so much for doing all the research.
Thanks, Bob, and look forward to seeing those of you in the public at our next meeting. We will have all this information for you, and we're prepared to show you the original documentation.
This has been a CSJC News Brief. Thanks for watching. Pass it on.